Don't fight in the north or the south. Fight every battle, everywhere. Always. In your mind.
For centuries, our families fought together against their common enemy, despite their differences.
Together. We need to do the same if we're gonna survive. Because the enemy is real. It's always been real.
When the snows fall and the white winds blow, the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives.
Hi guys, it's Fentony. We got a new Game of Thrones trailer today, and this one blows the first one out of the water. We're going to break it down in this video, so just be careful for spoilers. The trailer starts off with Sansa Stark, and we have seen this shot before. I think it was in November, we got a little teaser. You see Sansa walking and she looks a bit upset, or she's perhaps regretting something she's done, and Littlefinger narrates over it and says, "Don't fight in the north or the south, fight every battle, everywhere, always, in your mind." You know Littlefinger doesn't have the power in terms of battles. You know, the guy can't fight to save himself, we've seen that. But Littlefinger is the master of the game. Some Game of Thrones trailers, such as A Long Walk, have been criticised by some fans for having pop songs playing. This trailer has The Light of the Seven, which is one of the most popular scores from the entire show. You will recognise it from the Season 6 finale, The Winds of Winter, that plays over Cersei's destruction of the Sept of Baelor. The next shot is the gate at the wall at Castle Black opening. We have had this shot before, but the next shot is actually Bran and Mira on the other side. We then go straight into another scene that involves Jon Snow, and in the trailer it makes you think that Jon Snow's waiting for him, but if you look in the background, that looks pretty far north beyond the wall to me. We do get a shot of a crowd in King's Landing, and there is theories that this could be a potential parade, you know, when Euron takes Yara and the Sand Snakes through, but I'm not 100% sure. There's not much of Cersei in this trailer. In the last trailer she was heavily involved, but in this one there's not much. Next up is Daenerys at Dragonstone, and we get to see the painted table. We do get a shot of people on a boat, but you can't really tell what this is. This shot of Arya has been seen in the past. It was in the same trailer as the Sansa one we had earlier in this trailer. It seems like Arya might have two outfits for Season 7. This is more of her travelling outfit, but she gets that really cool outfit for when she gets to Winterfell. We get the back shot of Jaime Lannister, and we know Jaime is going to be in King's Landing at the start of the season, but this could also be Highgarden, because we know the Lannisters are going to attack Highgarden, the home of the Tyrells. This was in the first trailer as well. This is Littlefinger creeping about in the background. Another scene that was in the first trailer was someone sharpening a blade. There's not really any context to this, so there's no point in going into it too much. More Daenerys at Dragonstone on the beach. I'm kinda sick of this. We've had so much of Dany on the beach at Dragonstone. We must have had every possible angle by now. And then we go to new Dany stuff, which is good. Dany actually tears down one of Stannis' old banners, because you know Stannis did rule Dragonstone before Daenerys. Next shot, and we get all three dragons. We've had a lot of Drogon so far, but we've not had much of the other two. Next shot is Tyrion watching the dragons. They're definitely teasing a connection between Tyrion and the dragons. There are theories that Tyrion is the Mad King's son, but you don't have to be a Targaryen to ride a dragon. We get a speech from Jon Snow. For centuries our families fought together against their common enemy. Despite their differences, together. We need to do the same if we're going to survive, because the enemy is real. It's always been real. This is obviously Jon trying to convince people to fight against the White Walkers, but who is he talking to? There's lots of big battles in Season 7, and we know we're going to get the Ironborn, Yara versus Euron. Next up we have Grey Worm, and it seems like he's travelling upriver to perhaps Castle Rock, because we know the Unsullied are going to attack there. Next up is Brienne and Pod at Winterfell. When last we seen these two, they were just leaving Riverrun, and it seems like by the start of Season 7, they're going to make it back to Winterfell. More footage of the Hound, which I always love. He doesn't look very happy, and we know he's heading north for the Brotherhood Without Banners, so he could be beyond the wall, or he could just be in the north. This is a really good shot, and it reminds me of Lord of the Rings Return of the King. You've got the Dothraki charging at Lannister soldiers with spears and shields. This is definitely the Field of Fire 2.0, where Daenerys is going to fight against the Lannisters. Then we go back to the battle at sea. Is this Yara jumping from one ship to the other? I'm a big Yara fan, so I want to see her be a badass, because I think by the end of Season 7, she will die. More of this Field of Fire 2.0, and you've got Lannister archers with Jaime and Bronn in the background. This next shot is perhaps my favourite in the whole trailer. You've got ravens flying in the air, and it seems like their eyes become like when Bran wargs. And then in the next shot, we get the Night King. It goes straight to Bran using his warging powers. Perhaps he's having a vision, or is he controlling the ravens? But I think maybe Bran is just watching Jon Snow beyond the wall, using his powers. And then the next shot, you see Bran in a wheelchair with Maester Wolkan, who was the Maester for the Boltons. We get a great shot, and I mean a great shot, of Beric Dondarrion lighting up his flaming sword. I can't wait for this white mission beyond the wall with Jon Snow. All the stuff we've seen so far just looks so epic. Another great shot from the trailer. It's just a great trailer overall. You've got Euron Greyjoy's ships in Blackwater Bay. Is he coming to Cersei as an ally or an enemy? For me, Euron is definitely going to be Cersei's ally. You can see from his ships he's going to be a major threat for this season. And in an interview, the guy that plays Euron Greyjoy has hyped the character up big time. The way he describes him, he sounds more like he is in the books, and if that is true, then that'll please a lot of fans. This shot's very interesting. You see some Unsullied letting more Unsullied in for a big gate. To me, this is at Castle Rock, where Tyrion tells them about the sewer system, because you know Tyrion was in charge of that back in the day, and he's going to use that to his advantage. Some of the Unsullied are going to sneak their way in, and then bring the whole army in. More Daenerys looking over the beach. Perhaps she's talking to Jon Snow in this one. Another epic shot. You've got Jaime Lannister charging on horseback in the Field of Fire with a spear in his hand. It seems like the Lannister army has been heavily defeated here, and Jaime's just going for one last blow. Who's he charging at though? The next sequence gives us a Dothraki charging the other way, but again this might just be trailer trickery. To me it seems like Drogon is going to be a huge player in this battle, but he might cause major damage to Daenerys' forces as well. We get even more of Yara and Theon, and it seems like all their ships are on fire. To me it seems like Euron is going to ambush them. The fire here is very interesting. Perhaps Euron has flaming catapults on his ships, but in the books Euron claims to have a dragon horn called Dragonbinder, which will allow him to control the dragons. Could Euron actually be possessing one of Daenerys' dragons here and setting it on Theon and Yara? That'd be epic, turning Daenerys' biggest weapons against her. Next up, we actually have footage of Euron Greyjoy. In all the promotional material, he's been excluded, but he's in this trailer, he's got a haircut, he's got badass armor, and he looks like a badass. Tormund's here too, and he seems to be in a fight. Tormund is definitely going beyond the wall with Jon, so we'll see how this plays out. We get more of Daenerys versus the Lannisters here, and you've got an army of Dothraki charging with Drogon in the air. This is definitely a continuation from the first trailer, when you see Drogon at the end. This is definitely the same scene. You do get the Lannisters doing the shield and then the pike combination, but that's not going to save them from Drogon. This trailer features a lot of the stuff going on beyond the wall, and we get a great shot of Jon Snow standing on some sort of high ground with an army of white surrounding them. There is someone using a flaming sword. Is that Beric Dondarrion, or is it Forrest of Myr? Just like in the first trailer, you've got Missandei and Grey Worm together again, and it looks like they're about to embrace. I'm not really interested in this, as I've never really been a fan of these characters. Tyrion's not really been shown much in this trailer, we've just had quick glimpses of him, but he does look a bit worried here. Perhaps he's getting worried about the dragons, and he doesn't want them to be sent in against the Lannister army, as he doesn't want Jaime to die. This next shot is another one where we can't be 100% sure what it is, but it looks like the Hound, and he's drawn his sword. This looks like the Dragon Pit in King's Landing, where you're going to get all the main characters, well most of them, having some sort of meeting talking about the White Walkers, and perhaps Jon Snow shows everybody the white that they've captured. We know that Cersei's going to be there, so the Mountain should be there too. Is this teasing Clegane Bowl? Oh please, come on. You've got Jon Snow and Davos, and it looks like they're at Dragonstone. And then next up, we get somebody fighting a White Walker. Is this Jon Snow? And the White Walker looks similar to the one that Jon Snow fought in Hardhome. This is perhaps because a lot of the White Walkers are the sons of Craster. This one really intrigues me. You've got Theon collapsing at Dragonstone. To me, this is Theon breaking down after realising it was his fault that Yara got captured. We know Euron is a monster in the books, and it seems like Yara Greyjoy is going to suffer a bad fate here. We get a close-up of Drogon, and Daenerys is on his back. Just look how small she is. Drogon is massive this season. And then we get a close-up of his mouth. A lot of people are saying this is when he is shown to Jon Snow. We started the trailer off with Sansa, and we're finishing it with Sansa. She says one of the quotes that Ned Stark said in the book A Game of Thrones. When the snows fall and the white winds blow, the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives. The final scenes are Jon Snow beyond the wall, and this is pretty much what this trailer was. The first one was mostly Daenerys and Cersei, but this one's all about beyond the wall. You've got someone on horseback, and this is, in my opinion, Jon Snow escaping after the White Battle. Is this Benjen Stark's horse? And then the final scene is Jon Snow facing off against an army of whites. Jon Snow's a badass, but how can he beat an army of whites? Perhaps someone comes to his aid. Perhaps it's Benjen. Perhaps it's Daenerys with her dragons. This trailer was fantastic, and it's probably the best Game of Thrones has ever done. So what do you think about this trailer, and what is your favourite moment? There's so many for me, but I think Jon Snow and the rest of the group standing on that high ground, facing against the whites, was the moment for me. But then you've got Beric Dondarrion with a flaming sword, and then there's Bran with the Night King. There's just so much going on here. So leave all your thoughts on the trailer in the comments below, and then I'd appreciate it if you guys could leave a like on this video, as it really helps me out. And if you've not already done so, make sure you subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with all the videos. There's going to be a lot before Season 7 comes out, and then when it does, there's going to be so many. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.